It starts as a whisper, a tiny voice in the back of your mind, soft, persuasive. There's still time. You can do it later. And you believe it, because later feels safe. Later is easy. Later doesn't ask anything of you right now, till later becomes tomorrow. Tomorrow becomes next week. Next week turns into months, even years. And one day, you wake up and realize you never started at all. This is how it wins. Procrastination isn't just laziness. It isn't just bad time management. It's something far more insidious. It's an ancient enemy, one that has haunted humanity for centuries. The history of procrastination. Where did it begin? The word procrastination comes from the Latin procrastinare, which means to put off until tomorrow. But its roots go even deeper, back to the ancient Greek word akrasia, which describes a state of acting against one's better judgment. The concept isn't new. Humans have always struggled with delay, hesitation, and avoidance. The Roman philosopher Cicero condemned procrastination over 2,000 years ago, calling it hateful. The Bible warns against it in the Book of Proverbs. Leonardo da Vinci, one of history's greatest minds, was infamous for leaving projects unfinished for years. In 1751, Samuel Johnson, the writer of a dictionary of the English language, wrote in a letter, "The folly of allowing ourselves to delay what we know cannot be finally escaped is one of the general weaknesses of mankind." And yet, despite knowing it is destructive, we still do it. Why? The psychology behind procrastination. Procrastination is not just poor planning. It's not just a lack of willpower. It's a battle between two parts of your brain, the limbic system, which seeks pleasure, comfort, and immediate gratification. The prefrontal cortex, which handles logic, decision-making, and long-term goals. When you choose Netflix over working on that important project, your limbic system wins. It rewards you with dopamine, a feel-good chemical that reinforces the behavior. But later, when you're panicking because the deadline is looming, your prefrontal cortex takes back control. Guilt sets in. Anxiety builds. And what do? You procrastinate again. Because your brain now associates the task with stress. This is the cycle. You delay. You feel guilty. You delay again. And the worst part, the longer you procrastinate, the harder it becomes to start. The weight of inaction grows heavier, turning even the simplest task into an impossible mountain. But here's what procrastination doesn't want you to know. It cannot survive action. Not motivation. Not inspiration. Action. Because procrastination thrives in stillness. It feeds on hesitation. It lives in that tiny gap between thinking and doing. So the only way to defeat it is to close that gap. How to break free from procrastination. For good. Waiting to feel ready is a trap, because you will never feel ready. Motivation is unreliable. It's a fleeting emotion. Here one moment, gone the next. If you wait for motivation, you'll be waiting forever. So instead, you must use momentum. Here's how. Lower the barrier to action. The hardest part of any task is starting, so make it easier. Want to start exercising? Put on your workout clothes. Need to write an essay? Open the document and type one sentence. Have a tough project? Set a timer for just 5 minutes and work on it. Once you begin, your brain switches gears. Action becomes easier. Use the 2-minute rule. If a task takes less than 2 minutes, do it immediately. No exceptions. Small wins build momentum, and momentum destroys procrastination. Break big tasks into tiny steps. A goal like write a book is overwhelming, but write 100 words today, that's manageable. Divide any intimidating task into bite-sized actions, and suddenly, it's no longer impossible. Set deadlines, even if they're fake. Parkinson's law states, work expands to fill the time available for its completion. If you give yourself a month to do something, it'll take a month. If you give yourself a week, you'll find a way to finish in a week. So create artificial urgency. Set a deadline that forces you to act now. Eliminate distractions before they tempt you. Your brain is wired to seek the easiest form of stimulation. So if your phone is within reach, you'll grab it. If Netflix is open in another tab, you'll click it. If your workspace is cluttered, you'll find an excuse to clean instead of working. Make procrastination inconvenient. Make focus the easy option. Hold yourself accountable. Tell someone what you're working on. Set a public deadline. Use an accountability partner. When others are watching, you're less likely to procrastinate. Reward progress, not perfection. Perfectionism fuels procrastination. If you wait for the perfect time, the perfect plan, or the perfect mood, you'll never start. Instead, celebrate small victories. Every step forward is a step away from procrastination's grip. Train yourself to act before the whisper takes hold. The moment you hear, "I'll do it later," move. Don't think, just start. Because every time you take action, procrastination weakens. Every time you ignore the whisper, it loses power. And every time you push forward, you become the kind of person who doesn't wait for later. Who are you without procrastination? This is the real question. Because if you don't know the answer, if you don't redefine yourself, you will always return to the comfort of delay. So who do you choose to be? Someone who waits, who hesitates, who lets life pass them by while they promise tomorrow? Or someone who moves, who creates, who takes action before the excuses take hold? Because the truth is, procrastination will never fully disappear. It will always whisper, it will always wait. But now, so do you. And every time you choose to act, every time you push through resistance, silence the excuses and just begin, you take back control. And one day, you'll wake up and realize you don't listen to the whispers anymore. Because procrastination only thrives in the absence of action. And you move forward. You've made it to the end. And maybe that means something. Maybe this is your moment. The one where you finally stop letting procrastination win. Because now, you see it for what it is. A trickster. A thief. A voice that only has power if you listen. But the next move, that's yours. So take action. Right now. Not tomorrow. Not later. Close this video and do one thing that moves you forward. And if this resonated with you, if it made you think, then let's keep this conversation going. Like this video, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs to hear this. Because procrastination thrives in the dark. And the more we shine a light on it, the weaker it gets. This is your moment. What will you do with it?